Tigers' job, an alignment of excellence in academics and athletics, as well as the standard of expectations of a title at LSU. Meanwhile, Notre Dame looking for Kelly's successor. One candidate who will receive serious consideration, Irish defensive coordinator Marcus Freeman, explains the Athletics' Pete Sampson.
Awesome recruiter, great communicator, amazing coach. I mean, you saw what Notre Dame did down the stretch. He figured it out without their best player, Kyle Hamilton. He checks every box. I think it is it's a risky hire, but the reward, I think, could be like a jackpot for Notre Dame.
Pete Sampson on Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. NFL, according to ESPN's Ed Werder, Cowboys receiver Amari Cooper expected to return from COVID-19 and play tomorrow night against the Saints. He's been out the last 2 games. NBA Bulls and Heat each will lose their next available second-round pick for tampering violations related to the signings of free agents Lonzo Ball and Kyle Lowry in the offseason.
We're back on Thursday and looking ahead to the best matchups of Week 13, including one NFC West quarterback making an impressive audition while another is playing his way right out of town. Thursday morning on Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max, ESPN Radio.
In the heart of Beer City, USA, 2 men, 1 journey to create a sports show unlike any other. Unfiltered, raw, and honest. One of them played a soccer goalie opposite Ben Stiller. The other once scored 6 points on Steph Curry. These guys know their shit.
Let's go!
Tank Spencer, Jeremy Greene, The Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingles Supermarkets. Low prices, love the savings. And Wicked Weed Brewing. Drink different.
And it's ESPN Asheville 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400, and, of course, heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app, the Sportsocracy live in the Ingles studio. I'm Tank Spencer. Jeremy Greene is alongside. And, of course, you can see the show live now, always on YouTube. TheSportsocracy.com. Click on the live video link. Subscribe to the channel. Join the House of Reprehensibles. Get in on all of the fun in the chat. We've got college football playoff stuff to talk about today. We've got NFL. What really builds an NFL champion? We'll throw out all the cliches, and I will throw out all the cliches, and Jeremy will try to debunk all of them.
Yeah, because I think most of them are ridiculous.
It's pretty much how this is going to go down. It's going to be a fun day here on ESPN Asheville. And the first hour always brought to you by Ingles. Low prices, love the savings. Don't forget to join us out at the Smoky Park Highway. Ingles, yep, that's the new great big one with the car wash out front and the Chick-fil-A in the parking lot. And we're going to be set up there for the Ingles Magical Christmas Toy Drive to benefit Evelyn Charity's St. Nicholas Project tomorrow and Friday from 10 until noon. So the morning show will be recorded for the next 2 days because we're all in it for the kids. We're suckers for charity.
Absolutely, which means we're going to do some draft stuff on the morning show. I do believe.
Yeah, that's going to be fun.
That's what requires the least prep for me.
I see how this goes.
Yeah. Here's the thing. It doesn't require a whole lot for you.
It doesn't.
Hey, here's player
name.
X.
Go.
Fat guy, you go.
That's pretty much how that goes.
It's kind of like winding up a Matchbox car. You don't really have to do much but put it on flat ground.
I hear this Aiden Hutchinson kid is pretty good. Why don't you tell us what he's all about?
Pro Football Focus has him as the number 1 prospect in this class.
Number 1?
Number 1.
That's impressive.
Ahead of Thibodeau, ahead of Kyle Hamilton, which, that's a little bit of maybe we're beholden to the last thing we saw.
Right. And we do have tickets up for grabs. 2 tickets to the ACC Championship game in Charlotte, Bank of America Stadium, Saturday night at 8 o'clock. Interact with the show. And make your case.
YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Literally, just go to the YouTube channel. Tell us why you want to go. We will give those away at 4 o'clock. To start the 2 o'clock, the second hour, we will give those tickets away in the YouTube stream.
Yeah. Big weekend as well coming for the youth football organization, the Asheville Extreme 7U team. They're headed off to nationals in Florida on Saturday, and they need your help in raising money. They have a GoFundMe set up. All you got to do is go to GoFundMe and search Asheville Extreme.
I'm going to share it across all of our social medias now. Yep. I don't know how many times I have to hit the button for this. because that's the biggest super chat we've ever gotten. So
I'm your huckleberry. I'm your huckleberry. I'm your huckleberry.
I don't.
Give him one more to grow on.
I'm your huckleberry.
There you
Many
go.
of the buttons on this board I can't hit on this show, so I do not have a ton of options.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Go to GoFundMe. Just search Asheville Extreme. There's no E. It's just XTREME. And it will pop up the campaign to send the boys to nationals. They've been working hard all season long, and it's a meager goal that they're trying to get to for the GoFundMe. And again, I'll use the same cliche that I always use. It doesn't matter how much you can give. It matters that you give. Because if everybody gives $1, everybody listening to this show right now gives $1, they could very well hit their goal pretty soon. So Asheville Extreme Youth Football Program. Good luck, guys, and of course we will be reminding you about that throughout the week.
As somebody that played through a lot of those programs, coached in some of those programs, that is as cool of an event as there is, because you get to go to a place that some of these kids have never been before.
Right.
It's just a very cool experience. If you have we know it's Christmas and this is a time that finances are tight for many people, but if you have a little spare to contribute, it would be greatly appreciated from us and from the Asheville Extreme.
That's right. So we do have that. They're leaving on Saturday. So if you can give some dough, please do so. And also Saturday night, 8:00, ACC championship game. Interact with the show on the YouTube channel and let us know that you can use the tickets and say something smart. And we're liable to say, "Hey, that was funny." You can have the tickets and go see Wake Forest and Pitt in the ACC championship game this Saturday night, Bank of America Stadium. TheSportsocracy.com. Just click on the live video link. College football playoff ranking came out last night, and there were no shockers, really. I mean, well, I actually kind of expected Alabama to fall.
Why?
Just because they should have beaten the brakes off of Auburn. If
so
they're that good.
So who would they have fallen behind? You're going to say
Oklahoma State.
Oklahoma State's they're not in the top 4.
I know. I thought Oklahoma State would break into the top 4.
Not yet. Not so fast, my friend. However, when I first saw the rankings, I had one prevailing thought.
Yep.
Cincinnati, you are absolutely going to have to force them to put you in.
Yep.
Because here are the range of outcomes where Cincinnati doesn't get in.
Mm-hmm.
Alabama beats Georgia. Period. There is nothing else that can happen where you get in.
Yep.
Nothing. Alabama plays really, really close to Georgia and loses by a field goal.
Mm-hmm.
Because they've already established that they like them better than you. There's no doubt about that. The close Auburn loss, all those things, they don't matter. So the team that is clearly number 1 in the country beating you by a field goal, you're still in.
Yeah.
Which I did not think that would be the case.
I didn't either.
But they've made that pretty clear.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the thing. I'll be honest. I think whoever wins the Big 12 is probably in too.
I agree.
Certainly if it's Oklahoma State.
I don't think so if it's Baylor.
That conference title means way more than you think it does.
In the Big 12?
I don't care what conference it is.
Just a conference title.
To keep out a Cincinnati that won the AAC, yeah, it matters a lot.
I don't know about Baylor. Oklahoma State, definitely. I mean, you go 12-1, you win the Big 12. You have to be in the college football playoff.
And I'm personally rooting for that for one very simple reason.
Why?
I am always a fan of all mulleted individuals being given their just desserts.
See, I thought this was going to go deeper than that. I thought this was going to be, I am a big fan of defensive ball games, and Georgia against Oklahoma State in the first semifinal, that could be fun.
You would beat them to death.
It could be fun.
But it would be fractionally better than it would be against Cincinnati.
Right. So Oklahoma State, they're at 5. Notre Dame's at 6. They're not going anywhere. I don't feel like I mean, it's got to be utter
path,
chaos.
But it would have to be.
Okay,
it would have to be insanity.
Here's the path. Michigan loses to Iowa. Cincinnati, they win, so they're still in. Alabama gets smoked, and Baylor beats Oklahoma State.
I'm going to level with you because I knew you were going to say that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if Michigan loses or not.
They're in?
They're still going to go.
No.
You cannot beat a team as good as what we think Ohio State is, that way and not make it. I don't care if you win the conference title game. It matters to me in no way. And I think they're making it pretty clear that it doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. We are going to keep Cincinnati out one way or the other because we know how this would go. We know how it would go. And it's all well and good that, we want to play it out on the field. There is nobody with an IQ above salad dressing that thinks that Cincinnati can compete with any of these teams. Mm-hmm. Could they keep it close? Maybe. Maybe they play really good defense. But in terms of athlete to athlete, you would get demolished. And they know that.
I agree.
And this is a time where you're wanting to make as many dollars as you can to make up for 2020 and all of the lost dollars you lost there.
Right. I mean, a Georgia, Michigan, Alabama final is what the college football playoff wants. If you're looking at this
if you got the committee in a dark room and they had to tell you the truth, mm-hmm. they are the biggest Alabama Crimson Tide fans on the planet right now.
Absolutely. Alabama not being in it would draw some, or would diminish some of the interest, in my opinion. Because
obviously you would lose the Alabama fans, but you're still having an SEC team in it.
Yeah, but think of it this way: you got Georgia and say Michigan wins, which I think is going to happen
aggressively.
So Georgia and Michigan are 1 and 2, and then your 3 and 4 end up being Oklahoma State and Cincinnati. I mean, do you see how that's not very appealing market-wise?
No. The most appealing game they can get here is Alabama and Michigan in one semifinal, and Georgia
and the sacrificial lamb in the other,
and whoever just gets trotted out there to get demolished.
Right, whether it be Cincinnati or Oklahoma State, it doesn't really matter.
I mean, me personally, being the chaos theory guy that I am, I'm hoping it's Notre Dame. There is nothing that would be funnier to me than, hey, Notre Dame, come on down without a coach. Oh, you got Marcus Freeman. That's probably going to be the next coach at Notre Dame, and it's the right call.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
But do you remember that thing I told you when Brian Kelly took the LSU job, that if they somehow made it, you have to name Marcus Freeman the head coach?
Yeah, I remember you saying that.
I said that wrong. I should have said – I should have taken out the first part and just said, you period have to name Marcus Freeman the coach.
Yeah.
Put his name into Twitter right now and just read the comments about him. If they hire anybody else, there literally might be pitchforks and fire and bad things in South Bend.
Well, that's part of what I said to you yesterday was you don't want Marcus Freeman to leave and go be a star somewhere else.
There's not really a risk of that. The bad thing for Notre Dame now is that you have been put in a position. Mm-hmm. Because the report's already come out that LSU has offered him a deal to be the highest paid defensive coordinator in all of college football. And there's really not a spot for him. The only way there would be a spot is if Luke Fickell takes Notre Dame and then he could go back to Cincinnati. Mm-hmm. I don't believe that's going to happen. I haven't thought that was going to happen for a long time. And I mean Fickell leaving, not specifically going to Notre Dame.
Right.
At this point, just do it. Just do it. Mm-hmm. It's the best hire you can make. Urban Meyer's already come out and said specifically, I don't want that job. That's the only guy I would have gone instead of Marcus Freeman.
Now, did Urban Meyer say that before anybody from Notre Dame contacted him?
I have no idea.
That's the question.
He said it to keep it from being a story because it was the first thought that everybody
had. Everybody knew that he was going to be thought about in the Notre Dame searching hire because why wouldn't he be? It's a job that he was interested in at one point before he went to Florida, and it's not going well in Jacksonville. Why would we not think that? I still think Notre Dame's going to reach out to him. And maybe they already have.
I don't. I think that's done at this point. It should tell you everything you need to know that there's not really even another candidate out there. Mm-hmm. I mean, you've heard Fickell, you've heard Matt Campbell at Iowa State. There's a reason that nobody's doing that. You can't keep anything a secret. We talked about that yesterday.
Right.
If they were really interested in anybody else, you would know that by now. They're not. It will be Marcus Freeman.
But the going back to the college football playoff, is there anybody else that has a shot to make this playoff that's not in the top 6 right now? I don't think Baylor's got a shot.
I think Baylor does have a shot. I think you're underselling, especially if they were really impressive.
Mm-hmm.
If they were really, because you would be talking about a team that in the last month has beaten Oklahoma and beat Oklahoma savagely, and will have beaten another team that beat Oklahoma. That's, 11-1?
But at this point, does that carry a whole lot of weight?
Absolutely it does.
Okay.
It's still Oklahoma. It's still a team that had, 2 losses all year? Well, there's your 2 losses. Baylor and Oklahoma State.
Right.
So that would go to show a real supremacy with Baylor in the Big 12. And then you have the conference champion. Would they need help? Maybe Michigan would need to lose. I don't really know. But I think they would put them in over Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm.
I am firmly of the belief that there is practically nothing Cincinnati can do other than full-on chaos. Alabama gets slaughtered by Georgia. Michigan gets slaughtered by Iowa. They wouldn't put Notre Dame in over them simply because they beat them. But, other than that, look at Cincinnati's schedule. Mm-hmm. Their second best win is SMU.
Yep.
That's not carrying weight, and it's really obvious.
No, but at this point, Notre Dame doesn't even have a good win.
Oh, I don't agree with that.
They beat Wisconsin. It's the best one you got.
Yeah.
And that's a team that, they needed Wisconsin to beat Minnesota earlier or last week.
And I don't know that I necessarily agree with that. That's still a good win. That's still it's markedly better than anything else Cincinnati has.
Sure. It's much better than the Indiana win that Cincinnati has.
Yeah, the one that I keep hearing people say, but they beat Indiana. Everybody beat Indiana.
But
literally every Big Ten team they played beat them.
But after Wisconsin, Purdue is your best win, second best win?
Probably. But
you might make the argument that that's their best win.
But you've got a lot that kind of fall into that. Virginia, North Carolina, there are a bunch of those 6-6-ish power teams that you look at and go, if Carolina played SMU right now, what would happen? Carolina would win by 30. And I think that's what the committee's doing.
Right.
That's why they put Cincinnati there. You couldn't have them out. You could not have them out this week.
No.
But you could sit back and hope things go the right way for you this weekend because there's multiple paths to that.
Mm-hmm.
Baylor demolishes Oklahoma State.
But really, how much more intrigue does it give the college football playoff if a one-loss Big 12 champion makes it in? Is that a bigger storyline than the first group of 5 team making it into the college football playoff? We'll talk about that coming up next right here on ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Down into the mid-30s tonight with some freezing temperatures in the higher elevations and then a big uphill climb to the numbers. We enjoyed some 60s today. We've got warmer weather tomorrow. On Thursday, high 66 degrees. Friday will be the warm day of the week. We're up to 71 degrees, and we'll be flirting with daily record high temps here in Asheville from 1970. I'm meteorologist Scott Lauriamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by BioNTech and Pfizer. Come rain or shine. High winds or mild breezes. Blue skies or gray. It's a great time to consider getting vaccinated against COVID-19. Sponsored by BioNTech and Pfizer.
At Ingalls, we know that Christmas is a family affair.
Operation Silent Night and Still in the Family. Okay, we're ready.
May yours be merry and bright.
This week at Ingalls, 80 to 160 count, Bounce dryer sheets, $5.98 each. Select sizes and varieties, General Mills Chex cereal, 2 for $5. And select Starbucks bag or K-Cup coffee, $6.98 each. Ingalls, low prices, love the savings.
Do you really want to go through another year with that awful joint pain? Don't do it. Resolve right now to get yourself moving again for 2022. It's time to call QC Kinetic, non-surgical regenerative treatments for joint pain. We're talking lasting results using natural biologics. No surgery, no pain meds, no steroids, and no downtime. This is really exciting stuff. Regenerative, restorative treatments that actually encourage your body to heal itself using highly concentrated natural biologics. Patients rave about it for hip pain relief, knee pain relief, shoulder and back pain relief. Don't let them keep giving you steroids, and don't let them tell you your surgery is your only option. Get a free second opinion at QC Kinetics. Do it now and imagine life in 2022 without pain. Call the local medical professionals at QC Kinetics now. 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517.
It's the 2021 Pro Football Challenge. Make your picks now for this week's games. Weekly winners get a $50 gift card to Asheville Pizza and Brewing. All weekly winners go into a drawing for a getaway trip to Kiowa Island Golf Resort. Make your picks now at ESPNAVL.com.
Hello, this is Discover, and we take customer service very seriously. We know that if you have a question or concern about your credit card, that's a serious matter, and you need to talk to a real person about it. So we offer around-the-clock access to seriously talented representatives in the USA. Again, it's a serious endeavor. The only funny thing about it is Bob. If you call us and Bob answers, you're in for a treat. Get 100% U.S.-based customer service and talk to a real person day or night. Discover. Exceptionally common sense.
Hey guys, I'm Ziggy, your local Philly girl, owner of Ziggy's Bakery and Deli. I've created a traditional northern deli with only the most authentic cheesesteaks outside of Philadelphia, served with provolone, white American, or Cheese Whiz. Our other classic deli sandwiches are made with the best quality meats and cheeses, available sliced by the pound. Join us for breakfast for house-made bagels with our custom cream cheeses. Or for something heartier, try a pork roll, egg and cheese, or house-cured lox. Ziggy's Bakery and Deli, in the corner of Asheville Commons, 1550 Hendersonville Road, open 8 to 3, Tuesday through Saturday.
Pernicious, adjective, having a harmful effect, especially in a gradual or subtle way. Now, Wicked Weed's flagship IPA, winner of a silver medal at the U.S. Open Beer Championships, isn't harmful unless you're a competing IPA. Brewed in the mountains of western North Carolina, Pernicious IPA will destroy your expectations for all others in its class. Pernicious IPA inspires you to enjoy fresh and often. Order up at wickedweedbrewing.com. Wicked Weed, the official craft beer of the Asheville Championship. Drink different, drink responsibly.
The Sportsocracy.
Pull up your pants, take off the bra, and be a man.
Oh, the college football playoff. We're almost there. Championship week this week. You got number 1 Georgia, number 3 Alabama for the SEC championship game. It is going to be phenomenal. And yes, every 30 seconds you think about blowing this if you're a Bulldogs fan.
Well, there's no way for you to blow it. Alabama could beat you by 105, and you would still make this playoff.
Oh, you're going to make the playoff, but you need to get that monkey off your back.
Oh, you're talking about winning it.
Oh, you need to win it. You need to win it, and hopefully you can win it in fine fashion.
Resounding fashion.
Yeah, there you go. Resounding is a great word. You just... And I don't think anybody's going to feel good about it until then. Like, as somebody who has been a Georgia football fan for 15, 16 years, that's all you can think about. All you can think about is blowing this game. But regardless, if you lose, of course, Alabama's going to be there. They'll be the number 1. Georgia will be the number 3. And they can meet for the national championship, just like we saw a few years back. But is Cincinnati making it as the group of 5 team, is that a better storyline? Will they get more eyeballs on the college football playoff than, say, a 1-loss Oklahoma State Big 12 champion?
The answer to that is an emphatic no. No.
It doesn't increase intrigue.
No, because we've done this. TCU, Boise State, UConn, Hawaii, Utah. You know what they all have in common? They all played in either BCS games or New Year's 6 games. Mm-hmm. You know what they all had in common? They were the lowest rated bowl game of the year. Because you say you want that, but then you don't watch it.
No.
And this committee, this was my first thought when we went to the playoff, is that now that you're putting this in the hands of people that have opinions and people that can look at it's no longer analytics. Mm-hmm. Analytically, should Cincinnati make it? Probably. Mm-hmm. From a interest perspective, good Lord, no. There are 2 things that can typhoon ratings. We have watched this in the 6 years we've been doing this. You can have a bad team, Washington, Michigan State, make a playoff game. That's going to hurt the number. Alabama played Michigan State. Guess what? Even with Alabama, still didn't carry a great number.
Right.
It's a good number. Alabama drove it.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing that can kill it's blowouts. The bad thing is Cincinnati brings both of those because I think they would get dumped. I don't care who they play. I don't care if they played Alabama. I think Alabama would beat them by 4 scores.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have and that's what the playoff committee is looking at, is, okay, there has to be no one else. All right, Notre Dame. Notre Dame brings the blowout risk, but at least Notre Dame brings eyes.
True.
They've always brought eyes.
It's heritage.
Even when they get slaughtered, you can still stack that ad book in the first quarter and the second quarter and go, you're still going to get the eyes because it won't be a blowout until the end of the second
And
quarter.
how beautiful does that look? How beautiful does that look on a graphic to be able to have the Georgia G, the Alabama A, the Michigan M, and the Notre Dame ND all together? It sells itself.
Yeah, I'm looking at our graphic from the YouTube show this morning or from this afternoon and just going, yeah, that Bearcat C looks very out of place.
It's a fun story. It's the plucky little underdog that comes in from the AAC, and they're getting the little guy's first shot at the national championship. I think Cincinnati fans and underdog fans should hope that it remains this way, because you're going to find out.
Oh, I think the worst thing that can happen for the group of 5 schools is Cincinnati gets in this.
Absolutely.
That is the worst thing that could possibly happen to you.
Mm-hmm.
You want to talk about us never talking about you again? Wait till you see what would happen in a Georgia-Cincinnati matchup.
And then when we expand to 12 teams, your hope of getting multiple teams in there?
Oh, yeah, it's gone. I don't think you have a chance of that anyway.
Yeah, probably not.
But if you see it, and the biggest thing, it all comes back to the money. It's all going to come back to the TV number. It's all going to come back to that. And that's why it's here now. I know a lot of people probably thinking, Oklahoma State's not a heritage program. They are more than you think. This is still a team that had Thurman Thomas and Barry Sanders. And
right.
You go back to the 80s, and there are a lot of big money donors at Oklahoma State. That is the dream scenario. Oklahoma State wins, Michigan wins, Georgia maybe loses to Alabama. Who really cares? Because then we have extra teams. We can do whatever we need to.
I think I'm pulling for Oklahoma State to make it into the playoff, because I think it'd be great for the conference. They've had a rough year. You think about all the things that the Big 12's been through with the Oklahoma and Texas announcing that they're going to leave the SEC, and everybody talking about how bad the Big 12's going to be when they leave, how bereft they're going to be of good programs. Oklahoma State making the playoff could be really good for the Big 12. Is it going to hurt them that they lose and probably lose badly in the first one? Yeah. But the Pac-12 does that every year that they get in it.
It's a secret time. Oklahoma has done that practically every year.
Yeah.
Because they haven't, in large part, they haven't just gotten beaten. They have gotten slaughtered.
Yeah, except for that Georgia game. God, that Georgia game
still
was
one
so
of
great.
The greatest games I've ever seen.
Oh, so great.
And just, all right, go back to that. I pulled the numbers on this. That's the dream scenario, is that you have something like that happen.
Yeah. Where
you have a close game between 2 heritage programs. Do you know what level of number that game pulled? That was in 2017-18. It was New Year's Day of 2018. 27 million viewers.
Wow.
That's more than the national title game got last year. And now, granted, I know that was in a
weird year.
Rona year and all those things. That's the dream. The dream is Alabama and Michigan and Oklahoma State and Georgia. Because I'll be honest with you, I think Alabama could beat Georgia, and they're still the one. As long as it's close, they're still the one.
Now, if it's close, that you could have an argument there.
You're not putting an Alabama team with one loss. I don't care if they beat Georgia. They still wouldn't be the one.
Oh, I think they could be.
No shot. No shot.
They would move Michigan to 1?
Absolutely. That's the only 2 potential outcomes. Unless they both lose. If they both lose, then you know what? I might have to take Monday off. Because my head's going to hurt no matter what they do.
Nah, they get the Alabama bump. They get that Nick Saban bump. they beat Georgia, the team that everybody expects to run the table, I think they would bump them back to number 1.
No shot.
But
there's no shot. They've been too unimpressive for too long.
Mm-hmm.
Because even if they beat them, it's going to be close. I mean, Vegas is telling you exactly what they think that game's going to be because it's been at 6.5 since about 45 minutes after it debuted.
Yeah.
It's buoyed up to 6 a couple of times, but then it goes right back.
Mm-hmm.
It's about a touchdown game.
And then all of this could be for naught. All of this could be for naught. We could just end up having the 4 that we got now. All you need is Baylor to beat Oklahoma State, and I don't think that's too out of the realm of possibility.
Oh, I don't know if that's even how that would go. If Alabama with 2 losses, I mean, there's so many iterations of this, and there's always a really like we're going to do that for the first time. First group of 5 team is going to be this Cincinnati team that hasn't been able to put away anybody.
Mm-hmm.
First 2-loss team is going to be Alabama, who could have lost to Auburn. If Auburn didn't just completely duty in their pants, then this wouldn't even be a story.
But it depends on how the SEC championship game goes. If it is as close as Vegas says it's going to be, or is projecting it to be, you lose by a field goal to the best team in the country, that's going to matter to the committee.
It will, but I don't think it'll matter. And I don't think you can sell that.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like coaches that lay on officials during games. The official can go, all right, I'm going to give you a call just to get you to shut up and maybe get you away from me. It can't be gratuitous. And I feel like if Alabama made this, Oklahoma State wins, and Alabama's now the 4, and Cincinnati gets left out for a 2-loss Alabama, I don't think you can sell that.
Oh, no, I don't think that. Oklahoma State wins, they're in my opinion.
I agree.
Oklahoma State wins. The SEC championship goes Georgia's way. Michigan beats Iowa. Cincinnati finishes off who are they playing? Houston in the AAC championship game. That's your 4.
Yeah, Chuck.
But Oklahoma State loses. Now we've got a discussion.
Yeah, Chuck asked in our YouTube stream. No, he's talking about Houston. Do they even have a chance? No, they don't. And if you doubt me, revert back to what Cincinnati did in the last game they really cared about, which was against SMU,
mm-hmm.
who is, by the way, better than Houston.
They were up, 49-0 or 40?
It was a whole lot of nothing.
Yeah. I remember just being completely shocked by that. I thought that was going to be a close game, and I'll give Cincinnati credit. I didn't think they could do it, and they did it. We've been underselling them all year. Maybe they can finish this thing off and make the college football playoff. It's a great story. The problem is it going to rate? Is it going to draw eyeballs? Is it going to give the football, the playoff, everything that the advertisers want? Because I think that does play a huge part.
Huge.
In all of this.
The Sports Tag.
Just a bit outside.
All right, here's the 411, folks.
Oh, social media has been fun over the last day with Brian Kelly taking the LSU job. There's so many people that are really upset that Brian Kelly just landed this, primo job in the SEC. He's getting $1 bajillion to come in. I was reading the article earlier today about all of the incentives in his contract. Like if he wins a college football playoff game, like his salary goes up $500,000 every year.
Yeah, he is now the highest paid state official in the country.
He is. I think the article I was reading said he was second. He's tied for second with Mel Tucker at $9.5 million a year. Nick Saban is still one at 9.9. Those may be weird numbers. I'm just going off of the article that I read earlier today about this.
There are a slew of incentives in that Brian Kelly deal that are likely to be reached.
Oh, absolutely. He's getting a $1.2 million interest-free loan so he can purchase a home within 30 miles of LSU's campus. He's getting 50 hours of private aircraft time per year for personal usage. There's a lot of good perks coming with that deal.
Yeah, they still don't touch Lincoln Riley's. They bought both of Lincoln Riley's houses for $500,000 over market. Have you heard that story?
No.
Lincoln Riley had 2 houses in Norman, Oklahoma. Part of his contract was USC bought them both for $500,000 over market.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do with that? Like, do you have some SID or some student information director going, I have a real estate license. Cool. Go to Oklahoma and sell Lincoln's house.
Yeah, go get it.
Yeah, here's a piece of advice. Don't put it with Lincoln Riley's house on the sign. It's not exactly helping the market out there.
Right. But all these Brian Kelly stories start coming out about how he's such a jerk. We were talked about yesterday, the players finding out before he was able to tell them that he's leaving the school. And, he did the same thing at Cincinnati. And he held an 11-minute meeting yesterday morning with his players.
And I think that is the most overrated. I've heard that 11 minutes was trending on Twitter earlier.
Like, what are you going to do? You want me to go in there and just individually, have 5 minutes per player of what I like about you? Like, this is stupid.
Because that's what people want.
Right.
Because apparently people never go through breakups. You ever go through a breakup with somebody you've been with for a long time? You go in, your goal, in, out, fast.
Yeah.
You don't want to look at them and give them all the reasons that you're leaving. Like, you burn a hole in my couch with your cigarettes.
Oh, my gosh. That woman scarred you, didn't she?
Yeah, she did.
Oh, my goodness.
Yikes.
You have used that analogy a lot in the last 3 days.
Yeah, 3 days in a row.
But all these stories keep coming up about Brian Kelly. People talking about the video assistant that got killed in the freak wind accident up in Notre Dame and how he was to blame for that. Everybody's digging up all this stuff. This, however, was a story I had not heard. It was reported on back in 2019, and I had no clue. And I think it's hilarious. Which Jeremy says makes me, yet again, Mr. Inconsistent.
Yeah,
because I
want you to tell the players before you do anything. But this, he's laughed at all day long.
I have. To me, it's funny. A lot of people in the sensitive generation, they don't think it's too funny. But I think it's
That's a really
hilarious.
nice way of saying millennial.
Exactly.
Just in case you were curious.
Central Michigan. While he was at Central Michigan, Brian Kelly was the head coach, and he had 2 assistants that you know the names of. Matt LaFleur, who's
Green
now
Bay Packers head coach.
Now head coach of the Green Bay Packers, and Rob Salah,
head coach of my New York Jets.
They were both grad assistants, and there was a holiday party being had over at Brian Kelly's house. They found out about it. Hey, it's a staff Christmas party. We should go. Because we got nothing else to do, because we're living in our dorm room that doesn't have any furniture in it, and let's go party at the coach's house. So they show up at the party, and I guess Brian Kelly answers the door, and he goes, "What are you guys doing here? I didn't invite you." "Oh, you want to be a part of the party? Okay, cool. Well, get this. I'm going to need you to go outside. I'm going to need you to shovel the snow off the walkway, and I'm going to need you to park the cars for everybody that's coming." And he made him do it. And everybody's losing their minds like, "Oh, he's such a jerk." I mean, when you're at that position, is that not what grad assistants are for?
100%.
Yeah.
As somebody that knows a little bit about that job, out. Seacrest, out.
To do your dirty work. That's what grad assistants do. That's their function, in the social setting. I can't tell you how many times I've been, the low guy on the totem pole in the radio business, and I'm the one that has to go out and fetch coffee or
cups and ice.
Right.
You strike me as a cups and ice kind of guy.
Oh, yeah. Totally. Everybody is just losing their minds that, "Oh, look at this. Brian Kelly is not a good person." No. He is a championship-level head coach, though. And what do we know about championship-level head coaches? They're not necessarily nice guys.
Yeah, you think Nick Saban's real warm and fuzzy?
Mm-mm.
You think he treats GAs really well?
I mean, Bill Belichick. You think he's a nice guy?
I wouldn't be shocked if Nick Saban had a GA whose job was to be Nick Saban's ottoman. Like, you just kneel on the floor and I'll put my feet on your back.
Look, and Brian Kelly may be a jerk, and frankly, I'm not associated with him personally. I don't have to do anything with him. I don't care. But to me, this is funny. And it's not too out of the realm of, it's not too far out of bounds to take a phrase from Guy Fieri. This ain't too far out of bounds.
Guy Fieri reference in 2 days. Too.
It is. This is not too far out of bounds. I don't care. And the Rob Salah was the one doing the interview in 2019 for ESPN when the story was told, and he said, "See, this is why we knew." Me and Matt, that when we get older and we get these jobs, we're not going to treat people this way. Well, how wonderful for you. Yeah. And it sounds like a boss that I would want to work for. But get over it.
Yeah. Hey, Rob, I don't really care how you treat the interns. How about you win some games?
Exactly.
Sorry, that was a deep-seated resentment from me.
Oh, but they're people and they're not your slaves. Stop that.
Yeah, the Brian Kelly's such a jerk thing. The stories about how he's left previous jobs are so dumb to me. Stephen Tao said this in the comments.
Yeah.
What if he tells his players he's talking to other schools and then doesn't leave? That'd be weird.
Mm-hmm.
That
would be weird.
I go back to that breakup analogy. Like you tell your spouse, "Well, I think this is over. But I'm gonna go hang out at the bar and see if anybody's interested in me, and if they're not, then maybe I can come back and we work this out."
Right.
You see how stupid that sounds when I said it that way? It's the same premise.
Pretty much.
My story for the first time ever is much more chipper than yours.
Oh, really?
A Michigan high school basketball team's wrong number mistake in a group text led to the team getting an unexpected video chat session.
I love this story.
With some of their heroes. Vinny Tartaglia, a player for the Notre Dame Preparatory School basketball team, said he was in charge of adding numbers to the team's group text, and he made a mistake when he put in one of the numbers. Apparently, one of the players... He was the last one in the thread. He puts the number in, gets the number wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So the group text soon gets a message from the owner of the wrong number that he sent out. And it said, "Y'all meant to add me to this? Do you know who I am?" ? Well, the number belonged to Tampa Bay Buccaneer corner Sean Murphy Bunting,
yes,
who is a Michigan native and one of the defending Super Bowl champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He sends a selfie. The players apparently still didn't believe it. And at that time, he FaceTimed them from the Tampa Bay locker room.
That is just a boss move.
Oh, yeah, it's 100%. He apparently hands his phone to Leonard Fournette, who walked them through the locker room, showing them all the players, including Murphy Bunting, Mike Evans, Levante Davis, Rob Gronkowski, and Richard Sherman. At which point they said, "Hey, where's Tom?" I'm not using that stupid term. I saw that look on your face when I didn't say it.
I was waiting for you to get there because they said, "Hey, where's the goat?"
It's outside eating a tin can.
And guess what he did?
The question was answered a few minutes later when Tom Brady entered the locker room and chatted with the students. The team went absolutely ballistic, and this is a very, very cool story.
Yeah, it is. I love my guys.
I really hate saying this as somebody who has had 20 years of his life ruined by Tom Brady. He becomes more likable by the minute that he's in Tampa Bay.
Yeah, he does. All of the commercials that he's doing,
some
being more open.
Some of those commercials are awful. That Subway commercial that you like so much it's terrible.
But you don't eat bread. That's hilarious.
That's dumb. It's dumb.
Agree to disagree. The crypto commercials that he's been doing about Tom Brady's getting a new team, I think they've all been pretty well done.
Yeah, I don't understand crypto. Are you about to say nobody
does? But there are some people that do.
There are at least 5 people that watch this show that are about to chime in and try to explain it to you. I don't understand.
Yeah,
crypto. Somebody asked if we accepted crypto the other day. I was like, I don't know how.
Wouldn't know how to do it.
How do I look? This is how this procedure goes. We do a thing. You give us monies, and we stick out our hand to which you put said monies in. That's a transaction,
right?
I don't need to give you my Bitcoin wallet.
Kevin Vick, he's just been abused by Tom Brady for too long. In the comment section, he said if he offered him a house on the Gulf, he'd tell him to do things to himself.
Yep, I was really curious how you were going to phrase that.
Yeah, no, I get it. The hatred is real. If you've been through the Tom Brady thing for years, the hatred is real.
Hi. My name is Jeremy, and I have been through the Tom Brady thing for many years.
But I still don't see how you can not appreciate the second act of his career.
I finally got him out of my division, and now I get to deal with it coming from Tons of Fun over here every single day.
And had it been with any other team, I'd feel exactly the same way. Well, not exactly, but I'd feel the same way.
I was about to say
had he done this with the Atlanta Falcons, I would be all about it.
Speaking, this is totally off topic, but we were talking about crypto, so I have to tell you this.
Oh, no.
I have actually yet to tell him this story. So we have some entities that want to pay us in crypto. I finally got a Bitcoin wallet.
Oh, did you?
I did.
Okay.
So it has a password. It's 20 random words strung together. You remember all those stories we did about how do you lose your password?
That's how.
I get it. As somebody that now that I understand how you have to do this,
that's ridiculous.
I understand it. It's like the most drunken sentence you have ever seen in your life. It's like table, monitor, coffee mug, energy drink, sunglasses, crouton, cell phone, bell. Yeah, I literally just named everything on my desk,
which
and
makes
at least
us wonder.
Somebody's going, why are there croutons?
Yes, one of these things is not like the other.
Why do you have croutons on your desk? Because I'm fat and I like salads, and if they have bread in them, it's a little bit better. So I've been meaning to say this now for 2 days. I need to unwind all of the stories of the people that had $211 jillion in Bitcoin that didn't remember their password. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. I saved our password, but I got news for you. If I ever lose that piece of paper, everything in it, it's going to the world.
Well, is there anything in it?
There will be.
Oh, well, that's cool. Business on the radio.
Yeah.
Sounds good, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's wonderful when we tell you about business things on the air.
This was also a candidate for the Just a Bit Outside, but I feel like I wanted to share it with you. Kenny Vaccaro. Did you see what his next step's going to be?
Yeah, I'm an e-athlete.
In like the World Halo tournaments. I didn't even know they were still playing that game.
Halo?
Yeah.
I have no idea. I play one game, Madden. And Jimmy, just let me say this over these ESPN airwaves. If you ever want to catch that smoke, just know you can. And you will.
Yes.
I'm not good at much in life. I'm real good at that.
Just play 2 deep safeties. He can't beat you. Or all the time. He can't beat you all the time. How about that?
Yeah, you played 3 deep predominantly, and I just ding and dunked you to death.
Yeah, I also picked you off like 8 times.
Yeah, because I got tired of it. It's like, okay, I need this score to be much more embarrassing than it is.
And never did quite get there. But anyway, Kenny Vaccaro, he says he's been getting offers. Like his agent has been calling him like, hey, so-and-so wants you to come play for them. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers need another safety. You want to go play for them? He's like, nah, I'll just hang out and play Halo. That's a heck of a decision to be able to make.
I mean, as somebody that we make our living off a self-funded podcast and radio show and things like that, it's really hard for me to throw shade at streamers or Twitch video gamers.
Right.
But if you had told me when I was 6 years old, if you grow up and you really commit yourself, you can play video games for a living, I would have done a lot less athletic things.
Yeah.
Sit in a beanbag chair with a big bag of Doritos and living the dream.
Of course you would have. Jeez. You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN. Asheville, we got picks tonight. We got Greene on Greene coming up next. You got some college basketball thrown in there? We got ACC Big Ten Challenge tonight.
I mean, I've got a couple. I wasn't going to throw those out, but I can.
All right. We got NBA games as well. And the Monkey Knife Fight coming your way next right here in the Sportsocracy. Check us out at thesportsocracy.com.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at roguecombatclub.com.
Joe Buck and John Smoltz welcoming you back to the City Center Convenience Mart.
Heather's moment has arrived, and you just hope all that training pays off.
Heather lays down her purchase, but Randy rings it up as slowly as he can.
Uh-oh.
Yep, she's looking at the cigarettes.
There's nothing good back there.
Heather's arm is in motion, but she just grabs the gum off the counter.
That's a slick move.
Even Randy tips his cap to Heather. Stand Up to Cancer and Rally wants you to reduce your risk for cancer.
Go to takeahealthystand.org.
Hey parents, here's some good news for America's future. Kids ages 5 to 11 are now eligible for a COVID vaccine. That means all those future CEOs and artists, world-class chefs and sports stars, the engineers and the innovators are eligible for a vaccine that can help protect their future. And it's specifically formulated just for them. Find vaccines near you at vaccines.gov. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Xfinity Flex is going all out this November. We're talking exciting premieres, action-packed sports, music, and exclusive free shows. Are you ready? We're serving up awesome live sports from Peacock at no extra cost. Epic premieres like The Harder They Fall on Netflix, and free entertainment from Starz, Zumo, and more. The excitement doesn't end there. Turn up the music with iHeartRadio's Sweater Weather playlist to get the good times going. We're going all out, all in one place with Xfinity Flex. Just say Fall Calendar into your voice remote.
High prices don't get you a great network. A great network gets you a great network. It's why Total Wireless runs on the largest, most dependable network, now with 5G. And for a limited time, we're doubling your high-speed data on our $35 unlimited plan from 5 gigs to 10. So you can double your binging, your scrolling, your everything. Total Wireless. Do amazing. Available at authorized dealers. Capable device and SIM required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary. Offer ends 12/31/2021. First 10 gigs at high speed, then 2G. Terms and conditions at totalwireless.com/terms.
Shop on eBay this holiday season to get more for your dough on stand mixers. Or get more for your buck on this season's hottest tech and gaming gear. And on eBay, you can even get more Cyber Monday rewind the clock deals. Cyber Monday prices are back for one day only. Get more and save more on premium brands with eBay's can't miss Monday deals. Get more when you get it on eBay.
The stockings were hung by the chimney with care in hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there. St. Nicholas and my family, they'll all be here.
The holidays are coming, and so are the guests. Are you sure your home's ready? Let Over the Moon Cleaning Services do the heavy lifting for you. Right now, Over the Moon is offering Sportsocracy listeners 20% off a deep clean when you schedule bi-weekly or weekly cleanings. Call them today at 585-0146 and book a free estimate. 585-0146.
Coffee's for closers only.
Get them the money.
Then when you get the money, you get the power. That watch costs more than your car. Then when you get the power, then you get the woman.
Another night of picks, another winning night.
Yeah.
2-1 last night, 5-2 this week. 13 games over 500 in the last 30 days.
Which one was the one you lost?
Last night?
Yeah.
I don't.
It was Oklahoma City.
Yeah, it was Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
Hey, guess what? We're going right back to the well because they play again tonight. The Oklahoma City Thunder are at home tonight against the Houston Rockets. They're a 2.5 point favorite. I still maintain Houston is horrible. I understand Oklahoma City's bad too. I get it. I'm certainly not taking Houston on the road. This one's easy to me. OKC minus the 2.5. The Dallas Mavericks travel to New Orleans to take on the New Orleans Pelicans. I am going to continue saying this every time the Pelicans play until they start being a 20-point dog. I will take whoever plays them at whatever number you want to give me until it stops working for me. It's done pretty well. We keep it rolling tonight. Give me the Mavericks minus 3.5. 3 games in the ACC Big Ten Challenge. The first one, Michigan State's a 4-point favorite at home against Louisville. Louisville is not as good as you think they are, and I do not know why people are sleeping on Michigan State. I've been thinking this since they lost. Who did they lose to? Kansas? It was Kansas in that initial first game of the year tournament.
Mm-hmm.
They fell out of the poll, and it's like people forgot about them. That team's really, really good, and this number should be way higher. Give me Michigan State minus the 4.5. Wisconsin is a 3.5-point favorite tonight at Georgia Tech. Let me say that again. Wisconsin is only a 3.5-point favorite tonight at Georgia Tech. Look, I like Josh Pastner. He's doing just a fine job. You know what Wisconsin does better than practically any team in America? Out-discipline you. They're going to do it tonight. Give me the Badgers. And finally, our North Carolina Tar Heels take on the Michigan Wolverines tonight. Carolina's a 2.5-point dog. I know you probably think I'm about to take Michigan. Michigan could have easily lost to Tarleton State. I understand it's been a little clunky for Carolina. They give up a lot of points. I think they find something tonight. They may not win, but it's going to be close. Give me the Tar Heels plus 2.5.
Go and do likewise, gents. The money's out there. You pick it up, it's yours. You don't, I got no sympathy for you.
I like the boldness of your pick there, sir. And you will hear that game right here on ESPN Asheville tonight. Tip-off set for 9:15. We will also have UNC Asheville basketball tonight. UNC Asheville taking on NC Central. 6 o'clock airtime here on ESPN Asheville, and then we will join the pregame show for the Michigan-North Carolina game. Go to monkeyknifefight.com. Participate in all of the daily fantasy sports props fun. And Jeremy gives you the free money picks here every day. monkeyknifefight.com. Use the promo code TANK when you sign up. Make your initial deposit, and they will match it up to $50. And they'll also give you a $5 free play, which you could use on tonight's game.
I am playing the more or less 3.6x multiplier between the Dallas Mavericks and the New Orleans Pelicans. I will take more than 26.5 points for Luka Doncic, less than 22.5 points for Brandon Ingram, and that will take your $20 buy-in and turn it into a $72 prize.
Yeah, the Golden State Warriors and the Phoenix Suns last night. It was the biggest build matchup.
Oh, that's the one I missed last night. Far. Houston, Oklahoma City was Monday night.
Oh, that was Monday nights. Excuse me.
I was like, something here's not sounding right.
Yeah, sorry. I had my days mixed up. Last night, I mean, the Suns took care of business against the Warriors, and now I've heard a lot of talk about are they the start of the next dynasty in the West?
Oh, I'll go ahead and tell you, if you're a Laker fan, it's not a good time to be alive, because that Phoenix Suns team is not only markedly better than you, they're way younger than you.
Yeah,
Golden State should terrify people because they have 3 of the best trade assets on the market on the same team.
Mm-hmm.
They can get practically anybody they want.
And Klay Thompson's coming back. He has been recalled from Santa Cruz. We are getting close. Oh, it's going to be fun as things heat up in the NBA. In the NFL, what does it take to be a Super Bowl champion? We all know the cliches. What really does it take to win it all? We'll talk about that up next here on ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Down into the mid-30s tonight with some freezing temperatures in the higher elevations and then a big uphill climb to the numbers. We enjoyed some 60s today. We've got warmer weather tomorrow. On Thursday, high 66 degrees. Friday will be the warm day of the week. We're up to 71 degrees, and we'll be flirting with daily record high temps here in Asheville from 1970. I'm meteorologist Scott Lauriamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by BioNTech and Pfizer. Come rain or shine. High winds or mild breezes. Blue skies or gray. It's a great time to consider getting vaccinated against COVID-19. Sponsored by BioNTech and Pfizer.
Christmas. The season of giving. At Ingalls, we know that nothing brings a family together quite like the holidays. This Christmas, let's give what's in our hearts. Thoughtfully and cheerfully.
This week at Ingles, select sizes and varieties Maxwell House large can or pod coffee, $5.98 each. Select sizes and varieties Green Giant canned vegetables, 3 for $2. And select 12-ounce Celsius sparkling water, 2 for $3. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Staples Connect has big savings on the hottest holiday tech. Right now, a Lenovo IdeaPad 5e with Intel i7 processor is just $649.99. You save $250. In-store only. Offer ends 12/4. Limit 2 while supplies last. Staples Connect, the working and learning store.
Ready or not, Christmas starts now. Right now. While Santa and his elves are hard at work, you can play iHeart Christmas Radio. 100% Christmas favorites, commercial free. Download the free iHeart app and take iHeart Christmas Radio everywhere you go. Or listen at home on your smart speakers. Just tell Alexa to play iHeart Christmas Radio on iHeartRadio.
Hello.
iHeart. Discover music, radio, and podcasts you'll love.
iHeartRadio.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
Today held his introductory press conference. He told reporters he never entered this season planning to leave Notre Dame, but the opportunity to coach the Tigers was just too exciting to pass up. Also said he looks forward to meeting the standard of expectations at LSU. Kelly aligns perfectly with the Tigers, according to athletic director Scott Woodward.
His vision for what LSU football can become is the same as ours. He's not here to simply fit into our culture. He's here to transform it. And most importantly, his expectations for LSU football are the same as ours. He's not just here to win, he's here to win championships.
LSU AD Scott Woodward. NFL, after missing the last 2 games with COVID-19, Cowboys receiver Amari Cooper is expected to return tomorrow versus the Saints. Reports are Ed Werder. Giants quarterback Daniel Jones, dealing with a neck strain, says he's preparing to play against the Dolphins on Sunday. NBA Heat center Bam Adebayo will have surgery on a torn ligament this weekend in his thumb. He's out indefinitely. He was injured in last night's loss.
Step up your creativity now during Dell's Cyber Monday event with savings up to $300 off, including deals on the latest PCs with Intel Core processors, shop laptops, monitors, and more. Plus, free shipping. Call 800-BUY-DELL. That's 800-BUY-DELL.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
He's useless.
But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Greene, Tank Spencer. There's no holding back in the sportsocracy. Presented by Ingalls Supermarkets and Wicked Weed Brewing.
And it's ESPN Asheville 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. And the sportsocracy heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Seen everywhere on YouTube. Go to thesportsocracy.com. Click on the live video link. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Share it out with your friends as well. You could join the House of Reprehensibles, and you can have whatever you want said on this program as long as it's within FCC guidelines said by doing a super chat.
Yeah, we're not paying a fine.
No, not at all.
Those fines are aggressive.
Not at all. Especially after that conversation we had yesterday.
Yeah, no, out. Had nothing to do with us, but it officially, okay, let's mind our P's and Q's.
Oh, yeah. No, yesterday was when we found out those fines, by the way, from the FCC are no longer on the stations. They're on who said it. So, and the first pop is like $250,000. $250,000.
With a comma and 3 zeros beside it.
Yeah, so always protect the license. That's the number one key in broadcasting. That's the first thing they ever tell you before they set you down in front of a microphone. The number one is always protect the license. We are here on ESPN Asheville 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. And so we're going to be out. We're going to be out tomorrow and Friday, 10 to noon, at the Smoky Park Highway, Ingalls, for the Ingalls Magical Christmas Toy Drive, benefiting Eblen Charity's St. Nicholas Project. I can't tell you how many years it's been now that I've been involved in this charity. Jeremy, you with the last couple of years have been involved as well. We love Eblen Charities. Yes, we are going to have a giant check to present to them, hopefully next week, with all of our competition for a cause.
Yep.
revenue.
And we're working on a couple other things on the side to make that even a more sizable donation.
Yes, indeed.
We love charity.
Right. So the toy drive opens up, I believe it's tomorrow morning at 7 or 6 a.m.?
I believe.
Something like that. And I know they're there till 9 every night.
I know Josh and Ariel will be there in the morning.
Yes. So, I mean, they'll be there at 5.
Yeah, they'll be there very early. They only want us for a couple hours.
Yeah.
We tend to get wildly annoying. At least that's what the emails say.
Well, we'll be out there, and you can drop off a new unwrapped toy for the kids in our area. Eblin Charities takes all the gifts together and they put them in the Ingalls Toy Store out at Westgate Shopping Center and allow the families who have registered to come in and shop for their kids for Christmas. It gives the needy families in our area a little bit of normalcy at this time of year. I always say every kid deserves something to open for Christmas. And this is a way
Christmas,
that you can.
This is if you want to know a way that you can get us to respond to practically anything. Children, especially children at Christmas.
Yes.
Charitable things in that realm.
Mm-hmm.
I would say our answer rate on that is probably 100%.
Right. So come out and see us 10 to noon tomorrow and Friday at the Smoky Park Highway, Ingalls, our new location for the Ingalls Magical Christmas Toy Drive benefiting Eblin Charities, St. Nicholas Project. They got a lot of cool things going on this year, too, as well with this. There's going to be, Joe Lasher's going to come play out there. Lyric's going to be there. All the Ingalls stable of artists will be performing live at some point throughout the 3 days of the toy drive, and it all culminates on Saturday afternoon.
Speaking of Christmas, something that we have not discussed yet.
Mm-hmm.
Are we going to do a 12 Days of Christmas movie drive again? Do you have 12 more Christmas movies?
Oh, absolutely.
Are any of them as bad as Elf was?
Absolutely.
Okay, let's cull those.
No, I think we should do this.
I cannot sit through another Elf.
I believe you should start this year's 12 Days of Christmas with Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas.
I'm out on everything you just said. I don't know who Emmett is, but I don't like him solely because he put himself in with Jug, whatever you just said.
Emmett, he's an otter, and he's a jug band, and they get together at Christmas time.
Do I look like a person that would like an otter?
It's a Jim Henson. It's a puppet, Muppet. Jim Henson, the Muppets.
Oh.
Yeah. I think that's the one you should start with this year. We will take submissions for the 12 Days of Christmas because, yes, we do need to make you watch Christmas movies once again. Since you haven't seen any of them, by the end of the show, maybe we will have roped you into seeing all of the Christmas movies.
Stephen Tao just started a trend.
I'm your huckleberry.
Oh, did he?
I'm your huckleberry.
He just gave a very nice donation in our super chat to the St. Nicholas Project.
Oh, excellent.
Yes, we will. You know what? As a matter of fact, on the fly, I love making decisions because it's the first day of December. All of our super chat money this month goes to the St. Nicholas Project.
Mm-hmm.
Boom! I love making executive decisions without talking to him.
Jingle All the Way, that was the next one that I was thinking of. We could definitely do that. So Rob Johnson, that is entered into the 12 Days of Christmas movies.
Kevin Vick said Die Hard and Bad Santa. I watched them both last year. Both great.
I'm going to repeat this because I read it to Jeremy earlier today.
No.
If Die Hard is a Christmas movie, then The Christmas Carol is a Halloween movie because it's got ghosts in it.
Nope.
Yep.
But it was set at Christmas. Not how it works. Not how that works. Batman
Returns?
Yep, Christmas movie.
Mm-hmm.
And it had Christopher Walken in it, which that's always a way to get me to watch something.
And Michelle Pfeiffer, which was a godsend to me as a growing boy.
And if you really want to know a way to get me all over a Christmas movie, give me a Christopher Walken Christmas movie. Jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to run in a one-horse open sleigh.
Right.
Sorry, I can't resist the urge to Christopher Walken things.
Absolutely. And Devin Joba hit the thing again.
I'm your huckleberry.
Devin Joba, chiming in with, once again, yes, the Asheville Extreme Youth Football Program. The 7U team is headed off to Nationals in Florida on Saturday, and you can help send them there. They are trying to raise as much money as possible because there are needy families that have kids in the football program as well. And, if we can ease their burden in trying to send their kids to possibly a once-in-a-lifetime kind of an opportunity to go to nationals with their football team, we will help out in that. They've got a GoFundMe set up. Just go to GoFundMe and type in Asheville Extreme. No E on the Extreme. It's just XTREME. And that'll pull up the campaign. It doesn't matter how much you can give. It matters that you give. So please help out that cause, sending the 7U Asheville Extreme Youth Football Program to Nationals in Florida. They will leave on Saturday, so time is of the essence. What does it take to be a champion? This is something that the 7U team knows well about because they're already champions. They won the South Carolina Division State Tournament, so they know what it takes to be a champion. But at the NFL level, it gets a little bit different. What does it take to win the Super Bowl? We have a set group of teams, or at least in my opinion, we have a set group of teams that can win a Super Bowl this year. That list is 7 deep.
Oh, it's longer. It's bigger than that for me.
You think it's bigger than that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
For me, I'm probably into... Let's just look. That can legitimately win a Super Bowl. AFC, you got the Ravens, the Patriots, the Titans, the Chiefs, the Bills. I want to do it. I'm going to do it. Bengals. I don't just want to do it. I'm going to do it.
Okay.
So that's 6. Cardinals, Packers, Buccaneers, Cowboys. I want to say the 49ers. I'm going to. 49ers.
Mm-hmm.
That's 11. So I got 11.
Okay. My list is a little trimmer.
Well, it's the first thing that you've ever had that was trimmer than me. Yes!
Oh,
yeah!
No!
Woo! That's what you get for all those. Fire those cannons!
That's 2 points for Jeremy.
Yeah.
Ouch.
It's funny because it's true.
I think it's Cardinals, Bucks, Chiefs, Packers, Bills, Cowboys, Ravens. I think that's it. I can't see the Tennessee Titans winning. Is there a path to these teams winning? Sure.
And here's the thing.
I don't see it.
In most years, I would agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
Most years, I would 100% agree with you. Except that this has been the weirdest year in the history of creation. 25 games this year have been decided on the final play. That's the most through 12 weeks since the merger.
Wow.
In 1970. I'll tell you another stat that I heard today that is one of the most unbelievable stats I've ever heard in my life. The Cincinnati Bengals have played 11 games. 5 of those have been decided by exactly a field goal.
Right.
They are 2-3 in those games. Their other 6 games have all been decided by 14 or more, and they're 5-1.
Yikes.
Cincinnati has 2 speeds. We beat you senseless, or we lose on a field goal.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of why I don't think that they are really going to be a competitor for the Super Bowl. Will they make the playoffs? Will they make it interesting? Sure.
I look at that offense, and that was kind of the premise for this.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody always talks about running the ball.
Yep.
That's what wins in December.
Yep.
All right, let's be real honest about teams that run the ball. Do you know the number 1 running team in the NFL is?
Is it the...
This is the most mind-boggling thing I've ever seen in my life.
Is it the Browns?
They're 3.
Titans.
After their 40-yard performance against Baltimore, they fell 2 spots.
The Titans.
They're 5, which is saying a lot considering they've had 1 game where they could run the ball at all since Derrick Henry went out, who's still 3rd in the NFL in rushing just for posterity's sake.
Wow. Is it the Dallas Cowboys?
It's the Philadelphia Eagles.
Oh, I should have known that.
They're the number 1 rushing team in the league.
I thought the beginning of the season would have not made up for the last 4 weeks where they've been running it 80 times.
The Eagles, Ravens, Browns, Colts, and Titans are the top 5 teams. They're the top 5 teams in rushing. 3 of those teams have absolutely no shot of winning the Super Bowl. None.
Mm-hmm.
Running the ball. That's what wins in December. And playing good defense.
Yeah, defense.
Here's your top 5.
Defense wins championships.
Yeah, here's your top 5 in defense. Buffalo Bills, Carolina Panthers, Cleveland Browns, New England Patriots, Arizona Cardinals. 2 of those teams have absolutely no shot. None.
True. But the other 3 do. And I'd say that gives them a little leg up in the competition.
And I disagree with you. We're officially at the point in the NFL where you better be able to outscore people.
Mm-hmm.
Because conversely, would you like to hear the top 5 passing the ball?
Okay.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Las Vegas Raiders, the Dallas Cowboys, the Kansas City Chiefs, the LA Rams.
Yeah.
The Rams, who I poo-poo more than most.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think they had a shot to win the Super Bowl until Robert Woods got hurt, and that took it away.
Right.
It's infallible.
So of the passing teams, 4 of those have a chance to win a Super Bowl.
And the Rams would have. And they're falling down that list every passing week.
Yeah, they weren't the one I left out of that.
Oh, you got why? Why do you have to take the shots at?
Because it's so much fun. It's so much fun when I slight the Raiders and you have to lose your mind.
Look, as somebody that took a lot of shots at the Bengals, I will tell you, when you have to eat that crow, it's not real pleasant.
Yeah, it's fine.
Hashtag birds aren't real.
I still think the Raiders are a fine team. They're just not a championship contender.
In all honesty, I would probably agree.
Okay, thank you very much. I mean, heck, I had them higher in my power rankings this week than you did.
But that's where this league's at. That's the reason I do not believe in New England in the least.
Mm-hmm.
Because you physically cannot shoot out with these teams.
Right.
Because you're not going to stop them. We've been talking about this for years. Of you can't touch receivers. The call always goes to the offensive player. We're officially there. Welcome to the new era of the NFL.
Right.
We're there.
Right.
How good you are defensively. I'm not going to say it's irrelevant, but it's pretty close. It is pretty close to irrelevant.
I'm going to say again, I think it gives you a little bit of a leg up. If you can limit the other offense, but you still have to have the offense to go with your defense. That's why, to me, Buffalo is still, odds-on favorite in my book. Like, if I had to lay money on one team winning the Super Bowl right now, I think it'd be Buffalo.
Yeah, I can't go there. If I had to do it with one team right now,
Kansas City Chiefs.
Green Bay Packers.
Really?
I can't. And that's why I say it's borderline irrelevant, because that is the one great big difference between this year and last year. They always had 2 running backs. They always had Aaron Rodgers, but you couldn't get over that hurdle. Now they can stop you enough.
Yep.
Because Tampa Bay, even though you're right beside each other in defensive rankings, look at the schedule they've played. Look at the schedule you've played.
Mm-hmm.
I look at Green Bay and go, you know what? If I had to bet on one team, that's who it is.
Okay.
And it's not really all that close. Because I struggle to be, if I had to say one, it'd be Arizona, but then I look at, okay, I've Kyler Murray first time in the playoffs, Cliff Kingsbury first time in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
I can't get there with them. Baltimore would be pretty high for me.
Mm-hmm.
And their defense is improving. But you look at most of the Super Bowl contenders, they fall between 10 and 20 in total defense. They can stop you just enough. You can't be a sieve.
Right.
You can't be the Seattle Seahawks who can't run to save their lives and cannot stop you from doing anything.
So the Minnesota Vikings out.
See, to me, they are. To me, Minnesota is, you use that term fool's gold all the time.
Yep.
I don't feel like Minnesota's that. I just feel like Kirk Cousins cannot possibly continue to play at the level he has.
Mm-hmm.
They've turned the ball over less than almost any team in the league. They've turned the ball over less than any relevant team in the league.
There you go.
Because Seattle is 1, which still makes my head hurt.
Right, they only had, 7 turnovers?
They have 7 turnovers total. And you're still that bad.
That is bad.
But Minnesota has gotten borderline perfect quarterback play out of Kirk Cousins.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only reason you're this good. He reverts back to the Kirk we all know and love. Yeah, you're 7-10, 8-9. But then you look at a team like the Bengals, you're right there. And you can't run on that team. That's one of those understated things that we haven't talked about much.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot run on Cincinnati. And that's a team that had to play the Browns, who that's all they can do.
Right.
I think they're 4th in the NFL against the run.
Really?
I didn't know that until today, until I was doing the legwork on this segment.
Mm-hmm. I didn't realize that either. Wow.
They give up 93.5 yards a game.
They're
on
5th.
the ground. 5th.
Yeah. They're 5th behind Tampa, the Ravens, the Saints, and the Washington football team.
And they're less than a yard behind 2 of those.
Mm-hmm. And that whole Washington football team, that's more because everybody can pass on them.
That's because you don't have to run on them.
You don't have to run on them.
But they're getting better.
They are. They are a markedly improved team from the trash that we thought they were 3 weeks ago.
And you want to know what that coincided with?
What's that?
Jamin Davis stopped playing every snap. And now all of a sudden, the defense is better. Well, that's not an accident. Bet you wish you'd selected Nick Bolton now.
I was going to say, we'll just put another feather in your cap.
At this point, I got so many, I look like a peacock.
Because I think that was the one pick of this past draft where Jeremy just lost his mind. Like, I don't see how you're doing this. Why are you making Jamin Davis the 18th, 19th pick? Something like 20. That. Yeah.
Yeah, I did feel my brain press against my skull when I saw that come across the
right.
I heard the little ding 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 ding.
So defense and only defense obviously doesn't matter. Running the football and only being able to run the football really well, that doesn't matter. What else matters? What else makes a champion in the NFL? In 2021. We'll continue the discussion up next, right here on ESPN Asheville, thesportsocracy.com.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Down into the mid-30s tonight with some freezing temperatures in the higher elevations and then a big uphill climb to the numbers. We enjoyed some 60s today. We've got warmer weather tomorrow. On Thursday, high 66 degrees. Friday will be the warm day of the week. We're up to 71 degrees, and we'll be flirting with daily record high temps here in Asheville from 1970. I'm meteorologist Scott Lauriamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is slow, 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and US 1923, exit 3. Haywood County, 40 westbound slow between Vines Creek Road and Harmondon Road. Hendersonville Road, north and southbound in the Biltmore Forest area near Jeffries Avenue, delays. Sweeten Creek Road, north and southbound approaching Mills Gap Road is slow. On the Charlotte Highway, no backups. On the Smoky Park Highway near Pisgah Highway, earlier accident here in the clearing stages. I'm Lyndon Field with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by BioNTech and Pfizer. Come rain or shine. High winds or mild breezes. Blue skies or gray. It's a great time to consider getting vaccinated against COVID-19. Sponsored by BioNTech and Pfizer.
The stockings were hung by the chimney with care in hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there. St. Nicholas and my family, they'll all be here.
The holidays are coming, and so are the guests. Are you sure your home's ready? Let Over the Moon Cleaning Services do the heavy lifting for you. Right now, Over the Moon is offering Sportsocracy listeners 20% off a deep clean when you schedule bi-weekly or weekly cleanings. Call them today at 585-0146 and book a free estimate. 585-0146.
Experience the magic at the region's #1 Christmas tradition, the Pinnacle Speedway and Lights at Bristol Motor Speedway. See almost 3 million lights on this enchanted voyage, where you can drive on the track and take in our newest attractions, like the Under the Sea Sing-Along Experience and the Geico Holiday Lights Scavenger Hunt. Now through January 1st, every night from 6 to 10 p.m. Want to save time at the booth? Buy online at speedwayandlights.org. It's Bristol, baby!
We've lost so many people to COVID. So many moms and dads, favorite uncles, older sisters, and best friends. But vaccines can help prevent serious illness and death from COVID in more than 9 out of 10 cases. So now almost all COVID deaths are preventable, and so are the broken hearts they leave behind. We can do this. Find COVID vaccines near you at vaccines.gov. That's vaccines.gov. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Dell Technologies' biggest business sale of the year has arrived. Step up your vision with top tech up to 50% off during their Cyber Monday event. Dell Technologies recommends Windows 11 Pro for business. Plus, get incredible savings on Windows 11 PCs, along with servers, monitors, and docks, all with free shipping. There's also special financing with Dell Business Credit. Get started by contacting your Dell Technologies advisor today at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
It's the 2021 Pro Football Challenge. Make your picks now for this week's games. Weekly winners get a $50 gift card to Asheville Pizza and Brewing. All weekly winners go into a drawing for a getaway trip to Kiowa Island Golf Resort. Make your picks now at ESPNAVL.com.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I am Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
The Sportsocracy.
What are you people? On dope?
It's ESPN Asheville, the Sportsocracy. I'm Tank Spencer. Jeremy Greene's alongside. And, of course, this hour of the program brought to you by Wicked Weed Brewing. Check them out at wickedweedbrewing.com. Wicked Weed Brewing. Drink different. Yes, you can enjoy your holiday movies with a Wicked Weed brew in your hands. Don't forget to check out their Guilty Pleasures 4-pack. Milk and cookies, s'mores, German chocolate cake, and brownie. It'll set you up nice. It's a good little gift. If you're into that kind of thing, giving beer as presents.
And I am always receptive to getting beer as a present. So.
wickedweedbrewing.com. Matthew Hoffman with the super chat in the on the YouTube stream. Just go to thesportsocracy.com. Subscribe to the channel, and you too can be commenting in the stream. He says, Nightmare Before Christmas, Halloween movie or Christmas movie? It's actually a trick question. It's both.
I've never seen it.
But you're gonna. We got to add that.
Oh,
we got to add that.
Because
it's a classic.
Like a classic.
Mm-hmm.
I absolutely detest that word. You know what classic means? Old. Old with no CGI to keep my very, very small attention span.
Mm-hmm.
There are very few old movies I've ever liked. I did watch National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation the other day, though.
That wasn't the first time. We made you watch that last year, didn't we?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was on, so I watched it again.
Set him straight, chat. Classic. Nightmare Before Christmas. Awesome.
So far, the consensus in the chat is that I'm going to hate it. And
he's 100% going to hate it.
See, why do you take joy in making me watch movies that I'm going to hate? You did that with Elf because you full well knew I was going to hate Elf.
I thought there was a chance you might like Elf because you love Will Ferrell.
I do, but you gave me sterilized Will Ferrell.
I did. I didn't give you raunchy Will Ferrell,
old
and that's
school
the one you like.
Talladega Nights, Ricky Bobby, Will Ferrell. I don't like, I'm an oversized elf in this movie, stupid Will Ferrell. I did not enjoy that at all.
Yeah, it's Stephen Tao. It's Tim Burton. You have to be in. Don't you like Tim Burton? You like the Batman Returns movie? He did that one.
Is he related to LeVar Burton? Because that's
the
Reading Rainbow guy?
Edward Scissorhands? Should we make you watch Edward Scissorhands?
Never seen it, and I'm Seacrest out. Johnny Depp and a person with blade fingers. Mm-hmm. I'm out.
Mm-hmm.
I saw that movie. It's called Freddy Krueger. I'm good.
Does Forrest Gump count as a classic Christmas movie? Was Christmas even in that movie?
Well, that was New Year's Eve.
It was New Year's. Yeah.
Yeah, that's New Year's.
The only festive scene in that movie was New Year's. It's not a Christmas movie. Watch it on New Year's. There you go. You could do that. But yeah, Nightmare Before Christmas, trick question. It is a Halloween and a Christmas movie. Yes, technically it takes place at Halloween, but it goes between the two holidays. It's Halloween to Christmas.
John, I think it's John Delane. I hope I'm saying that name right. If you have young kids watching it with you, it's slightly more enjoyable. But Nightmare Before Christmas isn't a movie a grown man should be watching alone. Thank you.
No, you watch it with your hot wife, Amy.
And you know, I'm going to be honest with you. One of many things I love about that woman is she does not make me watch nonsensical things like that.
Mm-hmm.
I come home every night because she's done working before I am. and she'll be watching Game of Thrones. The minute I walk in the door, we shut off Game of Thrones. You know why? Because Jeremy doesn't do vampires and dragons and goofiness like that.
Right, goofiness. All this silliness. Who are you, Ross?
I don't do goofiness.
We just tired of the silliness?
Are you making a Friends reference?
Yeah, you don't remember that episode? Okay, all right.
I've seen Friends all the way through 9 times. Of course I remember that.
Yeah. Oh, make him watch Frozen. He's already seen it. I'm sure you watched that with the girls, didn't you? Okay, all right.
Yeah.
He's not a complete monster, ladies and gentlemen.
No. I can't do animated. I can't do really old. Unless it's A Wonderful Life.
You watch all of the Rankin Bass movies.
Unless it's a Wonderful Life. Yeah. That I can watch. Clarence. What day is it, Clarence? That one I can do.
Already seen it twice. You got to watch it on Thanksgiving. That's our tradition.
It's a Wonderful Life?
Yeah.
You watch that on Christmas.
Thanksgiving night.
No.
I'll watch it at least 10 times before Christmas.
In the same Christmas?
Mm-hmm.
I love that movie, and I think I've seen it maybe 5 times total.
During the Christmas season, It's a Wonderful Life and White Christmas play on a loop in my house just about. I should make you watch that one. White Christmas with Danny Kaye and Bing Crosby. It's a musical. You'd love it.
I'm going to have to pull the list of what we did last year because people keep putting movie titles in the list, and I'm like, I feel like I watched that.
Yeah, we did Scrooged last year.
And it was terrible.
I thought you liked that one.
No, it was terrible. Oh, it was terrible. Yeah, that one was bad. The ones I liked were Die Hard. Home Alone was fine.
Yeah.
Which I'm actually going to tell a story about Home Alone right now.
On the weird scale, there's Vegas, there's Florida, and there's Asheville. Let's get weird, Asheville.
That, my friend, I think is the best segue you've ever done. You get to go first.
Yeah, I did it right. Learning stuff. The house made famous by the exterior shots in Christmas classic Home Alone is available for rent on Airbnb. But watch out for the booby traps. The Illinois home, which was prominently featured in the 1990 film starring Macaulay Culkin, is being listed for a single one-night stay scheduled for December the 12th. The listing is being hosted by Buzz, actor Devin Rattray's older brother to Kevin McAllister. And in the listing, it says, "You may not remember me as particularly accommodating, but I've grown up and I'd be happy to share my family home. My pizza even, with you this holiday season. Just try to not let my tarantula Axel loose this time." The stay includes holiday decorations, booby traps inspired by the film, pizza, and a candlelit dinner of microwavable Kraft macaroni and cheese. The $25 stay for 4 guests will also include a screening of Home Sweet Home Alone, the latest film in the franchise, and the new Home Alone Lego set. I was all the way in until that.
Until Lego set?
I'm out at Legos, and I'm out on you making me watch the new one. I'm good. We have redone this movie 406 times.
I was going to say.
This is the worst parental unit in the history of creation. They have left this kid at home like 19 times. Social services needs to be called, okay?
It's not the same kid. They're doing new kids now.
Yeah, but they're all intertwined.
This is new kids who are abandoned and neglected by their parents.
It's a franchise. It's related.
It's like the 6th one they've done.
Won't somebody please think of the children?
Oh, so you've probably heard this word over the last few days, Omicron. Does that mean anything to you? That's the latest variant of the coronavirus.
I thought you were going to say he was a friend of Optimus Prime because that's what it sounded like.
No, Omicron. That's the new variant. The World Health Organization gave it that name, and it's actually paid off for one group of men from Hong Kong because that used to be their band name. They were a progressive metal band back in the early 2000s. And now Omicron, apparently with it trending worldwide, they're seeing album sales for the first time. I would say probably ever, but...
yeah. We're going to have to slow down production. We only made 8. Sorry, Kazaa will only load these so fast.
John Worster, who was in... these are apparently bands that other people know. I've never heard of any of them, but he was in Mountain Goats, Superchunk, And Bob Mould, I guess that's a band name and not just one guy, he tweeted out the other day that sounds like a progressive metal band that never headlined anywhere. Turns out he was right. That tweet then got people interested in Omicron, the band, and now these guys are apparently considering getting back together to go on tour as Omicron.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how that's going to play well. I don't know that you could actually go to a bar and say, hey, would you like to book Omicron for a night? Nope, I think I'm good.
I think I'm good. I have to wash my mullet that night.
You definitely have to wear your masks to that show, though.
Certainly.
Nobody gets in unless they're vaccinated.
I just think it's funny that you thought you were going to tell that story and I wasn't going to make at least one joke.
That's kind of why I told the story.
Oh, okay. That's what we do around here.
So
Jokes.
what makes a Super Bowl champion? Defense wins championships? Yeah, do they really?
Does it, though?
You still have to have the offense to go along with the defense. Ball control, running the ball. Best teams that running the ball, sure, they're a shoo-in to win the title, right?
Not so much.
No, not necessarily. Although those are two pretty important things, and we've already mentioned there's one team that's pretty good at both of them, and I'm talking about the Baltimore Ravens.
Mm-hmm.
There's another one that's pretty important to winning a championship, and it's coaching. The Baltimore Ravens have that too.
I felt like you have shaded Baltimore forever.
I haven't shaded them. It's just, to me, it's still gimmicky. I love John Harbaugh. I love the way he coaches. The defense is not the defense of old, but there's never going to be another defense like that.
No, those days are long past.
Right.
But I feel like your derision to the Baltimore Ravens is a lot like the offense was to Kansas City. Kansas City's still second in the NFL in offense.
Mm-hmm.
That didn't all happen in the last 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not what you thought it would be. Baltimore's a middle-of-the-road defense, which is plenty good enough to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. Baltimore's in my group. They are in my group to win a Super Bowl.
They're the hardest team in the NFL to scheme against.
Mm-hmm. And they have a coach that's already won a title.
But I just feel like these dinosaur teams like Cleveland, we're going to win by running the ball and playing defense. Okay, cool. You're one of the 10 worst teams in this league.
Yeah, congratulations.
And nobody wants to talk about that, but it's true.
Yeah, congratulations. You're the Denver Broncos, Chicago Bears. We could do this for a while.
Did you hear the GM came out and said something about Baker Mayfield?
Oh, that he expected him to be to be at his best when he comes back?
No, he basically said we have to look at the big picture view, and we've seen Baker play great football in Cleveland. When did we see that?
The last 4 weeks of the season last year.
Oh, you mean when they played nobody?
Mm-hmm.
They played they played 3 of the 6 worst teams in the NFL and the Steelers, who by that time were DMP dead.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot wait to watch the exploding of heads when Cleveland just refuses to extend him.
Yeah.
Because there are still, for whatever reason, people that believe in him. I cannot figure out why. Oh, he's hurt. It's kind of like, and I hate to keep using this analogy because, well, I've taken as many victory laps as I need to. It's like the people that said, well, Cam Newton was good before COVID. Did we watch the same player? Because I don't think we did.
4 years before COVID.
Yeah, unless he caught it in 2016, I don't think that is something that you can give too much credence to.
But no, Panther fans can sympathize with this. It was all. What was the excuse? 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019. He's hurt. He's always hurt. Mm-hmm. He's got the shoulder. He's got the foot. He's got the back. He's a list Frank. Whatever.
Well, and the thing with Baker is that we talked about this when he got drafted. It would have been one thing for me with him if he had been a 6'5", built like Josh Allen quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
He had all these questions, and he was 3 inches shorter than me, and about 205. It was incredibly predictable that you were going to get to this point.
Right.
But you look at the teams that do that. That's what you're predicated on. The Bears run the ball really well. Philadelphia runs the ball well and plays reasonable defense.
Mm-hmm.
None of them have a shot.
No.
But you look at every team that's a high-end, high-flying offense. Name me a really good offense that you don't think can win a Super Bowl.
Can't.
There you go, because there's not one.
Vegas.
I don't want to give you that, but I will.
Right. I mean, they're the first one that comes to mind.
They're about the only one.
Chargers.
And they're on the backside of it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're one of the first teams that I think can't.
Yeah.
I mean, I have 11 teams that can.
Mm-hmm.
I think I had them at 14 in the power rankings today. So, I mean, they're not far away from it.
No.
But you look at all of the bad. That's why it blows my mind when we get to this point in the year and we look at bad teams and who's going to have open jobs. Why in the world would you ever hire a defensive coach? Why would you hire a like the Notre Dame, talking about with Marcus Freeman?
Yeah.
My whole reservation, I have no reservation about him as a person. I think he's a fantastic coach, and I think he's a fantastic person from everything I've ever heard.
Okay.
My reservation is that you're a defensive guy. Who are you going to bring in to score? Now, if you've got a coordinator squirreled away somewhere that's planning on coming with you, now we're talking.
I don't know that that's a hard job to fill.
Everything I've heard is going to be Tommy Rees, and to that I'm going, nope.
Offensive coordinator at Notre Dame, that's got a heck of a ring to it. So I would think that the best offensive coordinators in college football would be open to taking that job.
Yeah, apparently their objective is to get Tommy Rees to stay.
Yeah.
To which Brian Kelly's like, that's fine.
But I think college football is a little different. I mean, college football, you can be dominant on the defensive side of the ball and not be great offensively.
The best team in America is that.
Exactly.
But that's kind of where I was headed with this. If you look at college, you can pretty much figure out what's coming in the NFL just by looking at that. All right, so college football is an imitation. It's just like the NFL. The spread thing started as a West Coast. You could literally run this all the way back to the air raid with Mike Leach. And, you go back to the run and shoot if you want to. But it took this long to get here. Well, now you're here, and there's no going back. I was listening to somebody this morning talking about all the best players under Pete Carroll when he was at USC played on defense.
Mm-hmm.
That's where USC made their mistakes, and Lincoln Riley won't correct that, but he'll be so prodigious offensively they don't have to worry about it. Okay, so think about that. The filter system to the NFL is college.
Mm-hmm.
Think about, other than Georgia, name me a team that's even competitive that's not really good offensively. See how hard that is?
Yeah.
Michigan, the difference with Michigan this year, they were good defensively for years.
Mm-hmm.
The difference now is they can run the ball down your throat.
That's a good point.
And so you look at everything in the NFL, and this is the reason that I never wanted to bury Kansas City. And as soon as I didn't bury them, I just was
we got close,
agitated. And as soon as I did, I went, yeah, I screwed that up.
Mm-hmm.
Watched them against the Cowboys, watched them against Green Bay. Yeah, we screwed that up.
Yeah.
And you can never count that team out. That's the reason Pat Mahomes is worth $450 million over the next 10 years.
Right. Coaching matters, though. And coaches who have been there and have already won one, I think that gives your teams a step up. So, obviously, that pulls in Baltimore. That pulls in New England. And that pulls in, I don't know about the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, I know Mike McCarthy's already got a ring, but
he didn't mean to.
That's kind of how I feel. And I feel like I'm slighting him for thinking that, but
he's a fine coach.
I don't know that
I just don't know that I'm going to give them some advantage because of Mike McCarthy.
Right.
I think there are very good coaches in this league.
Mm-hmm.
I fully believe coaching matters a good bit. I don't know that it matters as much as people make it out to.
Right.
For me, it's the New England theory. All right, explain to me how New England's going to win a Super Bowl without saying Bill Belichick's name.
Can't
do it. Can't do it. It's just like the Pittsburgh Steelers. Explain to me how they're not going to finish below 500 without saying Mike Tomlin. You can't do it.
Because they're probably going to.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately for Mike Tomlin. But Andy Reid. I told you the whole time as we were dinging Kansas City week after week after week. I kept telling you, Andy Reid's gonna figure this thing out. This offense is going to come around, and I feel like they've done that. And now they're back in the mix. Now they're one of the 4 teams with the greatest chances to win the Super Bowl this year. The only reason I don't put Tampa Bay in that scenario is because it's Bruce Arians. And the main thing, the thing aside from coaching that can get you to a Super Bowl and win one is leadership. And as long as you have Aaron Rodgers, as long as you have Tom Brady, you can go pretty far with that. You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. Guess what? It's time for something to chew on with Caleb Peak, brought to you by Ingalls Markets.
I think it'll be a good thing for us. It'll bring in a fresh start.
Positivity coming out of a shocking weekend for Oklahoma fans.
Well, I was shocked, surprised, and I can't imagine the motivation. It may have been money.
Sounds like the entire OU football program just decided to go to USC, so I guess I'm wearing a USC shirt next year.
He can't imagine the motivation. That's rich. I'm Caleb Peak. This is Chew on That, brought to you by Ingalls Markets. Low prices, love the savings. And the reactions I've seen so far to Lincoln Riley abandoning the Sooner Schooner for the shell of a football program that is USC have been almost comical. Seriously, I would laugh if it wasn't so damn ridiculous. Think about it. When the news broke on Sunday afternoon that the 38-year-old Riley was headed to the land of palm trees and movie stars, most of Norman, Oklahoma was still shaking off the pain and disgust that comes with losing Bedlam against those guys over in Stillwater, who, by the way, are all the way up to number 5 in the nation and headed to the Big 12 title game with a legitimate shot at making the college football playoff. Imagine that. What we don't know, at least not now, is whether that late-game collapse against OK State was the final straw for Coach Riley, or if this is a move that had long been brewing behind the scenes. What we do know is that Riley's decision touched off a fury on the Oklahoma campus. By the time the sun had risen over the Gaylord Family Memorial Stadium, white signs with big red lettering spelling out "Traitor" were already fixed in place. The grieving process had begun, and like anyone who's ever dealt with love and loss, part of that grieving process is assigning blame. I don't blame the Oklahoma fan base for being upset, but I do blame them for not being upset in a smarter way. Because to call Lincoln Riley a traitor over this, frankly, it shows signs of a disorder I like to call Tuscaloosa hyper-optimism syndrome. Which is what, exactly? Well, Nick Saban gave us a crash course in this disease the day before Thanksgiving when he berated members of his own fan base as quote-unquote self-absorbed for moaning about the Crimson Tide only beating Ole Miss by 6 points. Coach Saban said, and I quote again, "When I came here, everybody was happy to win a game. Now we're not happy to win a game anymore. We're not happy to win a game at all," end quote. Of course, every fan expects their team to win. Otherwise, most of them will find a new team to root for at some point. But as good as Bama is, if Nick Saban is having this problem with Alabama fans, you know Lincoln Riley was hearing just as much from Sooner Nation. Here's the only problem. Comparing Oklahoma to Alabama is like comparing apples to coconuts. The two aren't even in the same category. Oklahoma, while staffed up with its fair share of blue-chip talent, isn't dripping from the depth chart with NFL-caliber talent. At Bama, Bryce Young is putting up Heisman numbers as a freshman, while Oklahoma's quarterback battle was never truly decided until Spencer Rattler announced his intentions to transfer. If you're trying to put Oklahoma on the same plane as Alabama, just stop. The equation does not compute. Yet, Bama-type success is exactly what was expected from Lincoln Riley and Norman, and it just wasn't going to happen. And here's some food for thought. It wasn't going to happen even when Oklahoma finally joins the SEC. And forget the concept that money is what drove Lincoln Riley to the West Coast. We don't know yet how much he'll be paid, but we know he had been under contract for $32 million at OU, followed by a $45.2 million extension that would have lasted through 2025. Lincoln Riley was not hurting for cash on the Oklahoma sidelines. And things get even more interesting when you consider that Riley's contract comes with a buyout of $4.5 million, which USC will pay in addition to Clay Helton's $10 million buyout after he was fired in September. At this point, the money aspect is more of a concern for USC, a private, scandalized university, than it will ever be for Lincoln Riley. Oh no, for Riley, the motivation is much bigger. If you've ever been to a funeral for someone who seemed larger than life, a person who will forever be remembered for changing the landscape of whatever it may be, you'll probably notice a theme emerging from all the eulogies. This person never backed down from a challenge. If you think about it, what's the motivating drive behind any successful person? It's a fact of human nature that rising to the challenge is one of life's greatest feelings. and issuing a challenge is one of the best ways to get a response out of someone. For Lincoln Riley, a decision had to be made. He could either sit back in a comfortable, safe position at Oklahoma, oversee the Sooners' entrance into the SEC, and accept that his legacy had already been written for him, or he could take the challenge in front of him, that USC has been reduced to a ghost of its former glory. They're looking for a seasoned captain to right the ship, and with the right football mind in charge, the Trojans can reclaim those glory days for a new generation. For Lincoln Riley, it's obviously challenge accepted. And it looks like his key assistant coaches and a handful of top recruits have accepted that challenge too. So to all those labeling Lincoln Riley a traitor for taking his talents elsewhere, I hope they can say the same about Brady Manick, who grew up literally 20 miles from the OU campus, yet transferred away as a super senior for a so far lackluster final season with Hubert Davis in North Carolina. I hope they can say the same thing about their own school, which is abandoning the Big 12 for what? An even bigger challenge in the SEC beginning in 2025. And besides, with Riley out of the way in Norman, it's an open door for Oklahoma to rebuild as a team that can truly contend for a title. And it's never a bad idea to start that quest for a championship with a guy named Stoops standing on your sideline. To everyone screaming traitor right now, quit your belly aching and enjoy how lucky you actually are. To everyone else, I'm Caleb Peak. That's something to chew on.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is slow in Haywood County, 40 westbound between Vines Creek Road and Harmon-Den Road. In the Biltmore Forest area, Hendersonville Road, north and southbound near West Chapel Road, traffic is stop and go due to an accident. Sweeten Creek Road southbound stop and go after the Blue Ridge Parkway to Mills Gap Road. Charlotte Highway moving well. Smoky Park Highway northbound approaching Sand Hill Road delays. Patton Avenue traffic volume moving well. New Leicester Highway problem free. I'm Lynn Benfield with your time saver traffic.
This report is sponsored by BioNTech and Pfizer. Festivals, football, the great outdoors. Some people say fall is the best time of the year. It may also be a great time to consider getting vaccinated against COVID-19. Sponsored by BioNTech and Pfizer.
I stay very active. For my 40th birthday, I ran a 50-mile race, and to train for that, I was running about 70 miles a week. But over the years, that's deteriorated to a point where even running a mile, my knee would swell, and the pain that I would have would sideline me for several days.
That's Shane Mosney's story that led him to QC Kinetics.
I elected to choose a combination regenerative therapy that helps my knee regenerate to a point where I'm able to get out and start running again. But more importantly, I left there with a lot of hope.
QC Kinetics natural biologic treatments boost your own body's ability to restore and repair damaged tissue with no drugs, no downtime, and no surgery.
Those guys have given me back a part of my life that was deteriorating. I just ran my first 10K since my therapy, so I'm trying to pick a good half marathon to run, but my goal is to run another marathon, yes.
Call QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. QC Kinetics, 333-9517.
Want to hear how I almost got off the naughty list this year? I helped Santa save gazillions by having him download Capital One Shopping to his computer. Capital One Shopping instantly searches for available coupon codes and automatically applies them at checkout. You can download it too and save a bundle. You don't even need a Capital One card, and it's free. So why didn't I get off the naughty list? Turns out Santa's a stickler for naughty words. Capital One Shopping. It's kind of genius. What's in your wallet?
Savings and available coupons vary.
Audible is the best place to listen for everything you're into, from comedy and motivation to popular podcasts and best-selling audiobooks. Right now, take advantage of a special holiday offer and save 60% on your first 3 months. Learn more and sign up at audible.com.
To remind pet owners that Progressive covers pets in our auto policy at no extra charge, we're making a really cute pet-themed radio commercial. Hear that snoring? 2 sleeping puppies. Oh, they're awake! And they're heading over to that cute chubby baby that's just sitting there. What? Oh, now they're licking his face. Words will never do this justice. You'll just have to picture it.
Get coverage for your pets with an auto policy from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Coverage for cats and dogs included with the purchase of collision coverage and is subject to policy terms.
At Ingalls, we know that Christmas is a family affair.
Operation Silent Night and Still in the Family. Okay, we're ready.
May yours be merry and bright.
Merry
This week at Ingles, 80 to 160 count, Bounce dryer sheets, $5.98 each. Select sizes and varieties, General Mills Chex cereal, 2 for $5. And select Starbucks bag or K-Cup coffee, $6.98 each. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Here in Beer City, we take homegrown seriously. And since 2012, Wicked Weed Brewing has been pushing the boundaries of the industry. They've not only created staples like the Freak of Nature Double IPA, Lieutenant Dank, and Pernicious, but they also opened the first sour beer tap room on the East Coast. Wicked Weed has also supported our local community to the tune of $1.6 million with the Beers That Build program. Visit one of their 4 locations, schedule a brewery tour, or place an order for pickup or delivery. WickedWeedBrewing.com.
The Sportsocracy.
These guys are a f***ing disgrace.
That's a movie you need to watch. Slapshot. Never seen it, have you?
I don't know what
Newman.
it is.
It's an old hockey movie.
Paul Newman, he makes salad dressing.
Yeah.
Very good salad dressing,
Yeah.
actually.
You need to see Slapshot. I think you'd dig that movie.
I think I need to make a salad. I'm
hungry. Jeremy's hungry.
I'm hungry.
It's time for all the leafy greens here in just a little bit. On our new weight loss program, which we will be
telling you about very soon.
Yeah, but we both had successful weeks this week. Mine might have been a little bit more successful than yours, but I also have a little bit more weight to lose than you do.
Why do you take things away from me? What? I was literally sitting here like a kid on Christmas just waiting, like, please finish this sentence.
Oh, anyhow, the college football playoff ranking came out last night, and yes, we've got Georgia, we've got Michigan, Cincinnati, and Alabama. I know I flip-flopped the 3 and the 4, but those are your 4 right now. We talked about the Heisman race and how there hasn't been a whole lot of vigor for the Heisman race this year. And I still maintain it's because the best team in the country doesn't have a guy who could win the Heisman.
Oh, it's because there hasn't been a Heisman moment. We thought C.J. Stroud had one against Michigan State, and then Michigan had
And then the Michigan defense showed up. Michigan defense shows up, and look who has jumped into the odds here. So, as it stands right now, Caesars Sportsbook odds to win the Heisman Trophy in college football for 2021, number 1 is Bryce Young, the quarterback from Alabama. He's thrown for, he's almost thrown for 4,000 yards. He'll probably surpass 4,000 yards with a good performance in the SEC championship game against Georgia coming up this weekend. 40 passing touchdowns. It looks like it's his to take. He is minus 200 in the odds in Vegas right now. Number 2 is C.J. Stroud, who had the 6 touchdown and 1/2 performance against Michigan State. He's at plus 400. And then the odds get pretty steep from there. Number 3 this week, Aiden Hutchinson from Michigan.
I don't want many more things to happen more than that.
Plus 1,500 at Caesar Sportsbooks right now. Is he? Is this legitimate?
I would not be shocked if you tell me that 5 guys were going to get invited to this, which I don't think is going to happen. I think it'll be Stroud. I think it'll be Bryce Young, and then 1 flyer, and I kind of think it's going to be Matt Corral.
Mm-hmm.
You have to think about the voting. All right, so there's the problem with Aiden Hutchinson is he's not going to get the Big Ten vote because the Big Ten vote is going to go to C.J. Stroud.
Right.
It would be more like if Kayvon Thibodeau had a season like that. There's nobody out west to contend with the vote from the writers.
Right.
I would say I find it rather unlikely, but I kind of found it unlikely with Corral too because Bryce Young is going to get so much of it.
Yeah, 14 tackles for a loss this season, 12.5 sacks for Aiden Hutchinson. He has snuck into the top 3 of the Heisman odds. Kenneth Walker and Kenny Pickett are both at plus 1,800. Those are your top 5 odds to win the Heisman Trophy this year.
Stephen Tao asked in the comments if we've got any more mock drafts coming in anytime soon. We do, but over the next 2 mornings, I will be putting out the Chase Claypool team.
Yeah. That's the team that Jeremy just really loves of guys that may not go, in the top 10, but they're guys that are going to hit at the next level, and he's had some good ones over the past couple of years.
Defense tomorrow, offense on Friday.
All right, tune in at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, and don't forget to come out and see us at the Ingalls Magical Christmas Toy Drive, benefiting Evelyn Charities St. Nicholas Project. Ingalls on Smoky Park Highway, 10 to noon tomorrow and Friday. We will see you then.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Down into the mid-30s tonight with some freezing temperatures in the higher elevations and then a big uphill climb to the numbers. We enjoyed some 60s today. We've got warmer weather tomorrow. On Thursday, high 66 degrees. Friday will be the warm day of the week. We're up to 71 degrees, and we'll be flirting with daily record high temps here in Asheville from 1970. I'm meteorologist Scott Lauriamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by eBay.
Shop on eBay to get more for your dough on stand mixers. Or get more for your buck on tech and gaming gear. Get more and save more on premium brands with eBay's exclusive deals.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is slow in Haywood County, 40 westbound between Vines Creek Road and Harmon-Den Road. In the Biltmore Forest area, Hendersonville Road, north and southbound near West Chapel Road, traffic is stop and go due to an accident. Sweeten Creek Road southbound, stop and go after the Blue Ridge Parkway to Mills Gap Road. Charlotte Highway moving well. Smoky Park Highway northbound approaching Sand Hill Road delays. Patton Avenue traffic volume moving well. New Leicester Highway problem free. I'm Lynn Benfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Discover.